Right. Hello, folks. We're live for the first episode and first installment of Beers for Fall 2021 for the rest of this month. I'm in Louisiana with Louisiana Beer Reviews, Bumpy Road Brewery. Jesse is in New Hampshire. And here come the comments. Oh, yeah, that Sierra Nevada Bigfoot is excellent. I've always liked it. They never really change it. It's the same every year, but it's dynamite. They've changed the label. Now, the thing about beers for fall, I said use your professional judgment. I mean, you have to use some kind of sense. If you showed up with Samuel Adams Summer Ale, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. Or a Beta Spring IPA. I mean, it would be some kind of. It wouldn't make sense. There's Steve from Michigan.
Yeah, talking about that. I got some Oktoberfest by Sam Adams, so I've got a few left over from Oktoberfest. So
it's supposed to be for fall, but they tend to release it in the
late summer. Yeah.
Hey, Jason. So yeah. That's what we're going to look at. So I have one for this week, one for next week. I'm not sure if I have yes, I think I have one for the third week. Yes, I have one can left. All right, now I'm going to show y'all what I have, and then I'm going to do a screen share. I have this beer, 2021 edition of Yuengling Hershey's Chocolate Porter. It came out last year. I think it was on draft the year before, 2019, but last year everybody started getting it. The reviews were mixed, including my review. I thought it was, reasonably good, not marginally good, but we'll see. Somebody said today they thought they had improved it.
Now, can you get that easily where you're at, or no?
Yeah, I bought it 1 mile from my house for $1.79 on the shelf, a single.
Okay, now it's kind of hard for me to get yearling. For me, my sister was
true,
Yeah, no, it might sound hard to believe, but they're big in Ohio. But here in Michigan, it's a different story. It's a lot harder to find for me. Now, my sister was on vacation, and I found out about it. And I asked her, while you're down there, pick me up a 6-pack of something, anything. It was like she brought me the, I guess, traditional lager. And
they've been selling their beers in Louisiana since 2013. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Now I've always heard of them, but I've never had them until my sister bought that 6-pack up. So it's just one of them weird, wonky deals, I guess,
Come on and join up, Miscellaneous Brew Reviews. Come on and join up. Everybody can join up. I'll put the link. All right.
That's why the link's out there. Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to open mine, and then I'm going to tell Jesse. I'm going to let Jesse talk about his. So I'm just cracking the bottle cap, and it's got the Yuengling Eagle on it. Typical. They tried selling Lord Chesterfield down here, but I think I was the only person that bought it. It didn't last. All right, so I got this.
I think I've had that one. I think.
Now, Jesse, what do you have tonight?
All right. Well,
Lord Chesterfield.
I'm going to talk about my choice before I show it. So when I think of fall beers, I mean, there's obviously beers that come out during the fall season that are basically made for the fall. They're named after fall things like that. Like, for example, Mayflower Brewing Company has one called Thanksgiving. How much more fall can you get, really? But when I think of fall beers, I think of hauntings. I think of like a lot of ghost type stuff, and I also think of harvest and food festivities. So with my beer, I'm bringing a sour ale from Kettlehead Brewing Company. This one's called the Brew Witch Project, which is a kind of a spinoff of the Blair Witch Project. So this is brewed for the Halloween. It's a Halloween theme. It's got the woods there, the red. And this comes in at 5% ABV. It is a sour ale that has blackberries, lemon, orange, rosemary, and agave nectar. I'll go ahead and pour it. I have not had this one yet, so I don't know if it's good, if it's bad, but come on. I really enjoyed the Blair Witch Project when that movie came out. A lot of people thought it was bunk, but I liked it. I thought it was a great new beginnings to horror films of first-person filming perspective.
Yeah, I remember that. What's the? I didn't watch it. I didn't see it, but I remember when it came. What's the ABV on this?
5%. So a nice, easy drinker. Oh, I can already see. This looks like it's going to be possibly heavily fruited sour, but it's got a nice pink coloration to it. Nice, very tight bubbled head. I mean, those things are basically, there's almost no bubbles. They're so compact, with a pinkish, light pink head, and then you got that kind of almost pink grapefruit coloration of pink, and very murky.
Yeah.
In the glass. Don't know if it's going to be thick. It didn't pour out like it was really going to be thick, but the color itself looks like it might be one of those heavily fruited type brews.
All right. Now, BC.
No, I got Samuel Adams Oktoberfest beers. Now, I know it's been a minute since I reviewed this one, and I actually, going through my notes, I know I liked it because I won't give the grade right now, but I'll save that for later. But I reviewed this one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, this one
what's the alcohol level?
The alcohol, the 5.3 ABV with 15 IBU. Okay, now you got like a Munich 10, a caramel, I think a caramel 10 or 1.0, and then you got some sort of proprietary blend, I guess they've got, of hops. So, I mean,
we're going to look at the website in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, Michelada. All right, now, so I'm going to go. You can start pouring yours if you want, whatever, but I'm going to go back to mine and do Samuel Adams. I think I started drinking that one over 10 years ago, man.
Yeah, I already got it poured out.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
So it's right. Okay. Let me get the decal out of the way so everybody can see the beer.
Everybody was saying go Sparty, and then Sparty bombed out. All right. Now,
yeah, I mean, on one hand, I love supporting the U of M football team, but as people start talking about the Spartans, it's like, what am I supposed to say? Just watching the news one time.
See, I don't know if you guys ever.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm neutral down here, so I can pull for Michigan State, Michigan, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan. All right. Here it is. They're collaborating with Yuengling and Hershey's. They're taking their dark brewed porter, but they're adding 3 types of chocolate. Hershey's chocolate. Hershey's chocolate. Hershey's chocolate syrup. Hershey's cocoa nibs, the little look like little chocolate drops, and the cocoa powder. And there is it. It's 180 calories. Smooth chocolate tones, 4.7% alcohol. Pairs great with chocolate, barbecue, and cheese. You can put it on your Sunday barbecue show, but of course you can't get it. So, all right, there is a locator tool. So you might be shocked. And that is what I'm gonna stop sharing now, and then we'll be ready for showing the next thing in a little bit. All right. Now, let me go back to the correct setup. All right. So I'm going to talk about this. I'm not going to take too long, and then I'm going to go back to the comments. Not much head of foam. It didn't make much head last year when I had it a few times. Thin beige head and a dark brown appearance. Not as brown as it seems because it's nighttime. You know, if I was outside, it'd be more brown. If I was outside in direct sunlight, it'd be more brown. But
Yeah, because it almost looks jet black. Yeah.
yeah, it's not. I just not in the like supremely strong light. The nose. Oh well. There was an initial rush of chocolate when I popped the cap, and it's a twist cap. I forgot that Yingling beers are twist caps. I didn't need to use the opener. But now, no, it's not really chocolate in the nose. It's just like dark malts. So, cheers. Let's go with the taste.
Cheers.
Seems like they might have improved it over last year, but it's not that much different. Last year I gave it like a B83. It's like some mixture of chocolate, Hershey's. My friend David on the phone was like, "Well, Hershey's chocolate's not even that good." I said, "Well, I mean, that's what I've got." And he was, because I told him what I was reviewing tonight, and he said, "Yuck." That was his comment, "Yuck." I said, all right. Anyway, he was going to a liquor store / gas station / convenience store to go check out some things, and that's a legendary store over there. Anyway, getting sleepy, y'all. Okay.
Well, as long as you don't pull what I did, you'll be just fine, right?
Yeah, it might happen. It might happen. It's chocolate. I mean, it's showing chocolate throughout the sip. There's a little acidity, like bitterness, chocolate bitterness, almost like they're using Maker's chocolate. It's not that super sweet, but it's sweet a little bit. It's been so long since I had their porter, and they don't sell their porter down here. They only sell Yingling, the Yingling Pilsner, Golden Pilsner, Yingling Light, Yingling Flight, and the Black and Tan, which is half porter. Thin body, low medium body, like you get with a porter. Mostly dry finish. I don't know. I think it's better than last year, but maybe I need to get a 6-pack of this. I don't know. Do I really want to drink 6? I like it, but I don't know if I need to drink 6 beers with chocolate in it. But
well, you don't have to drink all 6 at one time, so you can spread it out.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about, like spreading it out. But yeah, I'm gonna be favorable towards it tonight. Now Bumpy's gonna show us his peculiar product.
It's witchery in a glass. The aromas. Orange is the first type of note, like this nice orange citrus. A bit of a lemon type note in there as well. The agave shines through. That comes up right after that big orange hit, pretty much. And there's a little bit of a spice in there, which I'm guessing is that rosemary. There's no malt presence to speak of in the aromatics of this. It is a fruited sour ale, so it doesn't say it's fruited sour, just a sour ale, but it's definitely fruited because they use heaping helpings of all of which they put in it. The flavors on it. Cheers.
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 It's a medium to full body. It's got kind of a liquid, wet base, and then a thicker overtone. It's almost like layered, like if you're drinking water and oil together, type deal. There's this kind of thickness that kind of coats the top of the mouth, while a liquid base flows over the tongue. I do get more of a stickiness on the upper back of my throat, and it's a little bit more liquid formation going down the front of the throat. So it really is like the separation of viscosity in this brew. It's got a lot of the kind of orange type flavors in there, quite citrusy up front, picking up kind of mid palate. That agave nectar really kicks in, and then the rosemary also kicks in at the very tail end. I will say also up front is that kind of lemon note. It's almost like lemon from like concentrate. If you had one of those like little lemon squeeze bottles, the concentrated lemon juice, it's got kind of that kind of vibe going for the lemon. The blackberries, those are mostly missing. As I'm talking, there is a little bit of a berry sort kind of coming up, very, very light on my tongue. But I just belched, and now it's mostly orange and lemon again. It really is a strange concoction. So the whole Brew Witch project thing is yeah, it's different. I've had plenty of fruited sours, like really, really good ones. I've had really, really bad ones. I've had some that say they put certain items in there and you don't taste them at all. This one is definitely interesting. It's got a lot of different flavor notes to it. I think most of the items that are involved in it do come through in some fashion or another, whether it be during the drink or after the drink, in gastric release of belches or speaking, exhaling out. Different flavors do come through. 5% ABV. I mean, yeah, it doesn't drink like a hefty beer at all. No alcohol presence. It does have a sour kick to it. Kind of starts almost from the get-go. Right after that nice orange flavor right off the tongue, it starts to really get this kind of sour. I get like a sour mohawk basically going right down the center back of my tongue with this one. Little spit glands on the back start going. So a little bit more on the sour side than the tart. I've had some brews that are sours that are more towards just being tart. This one is definitely getting into that sour range. Getting a little bit dry, clammy effect happening in my throat right now. So I'm gonna stop talking. Cheers.
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 It's a good thing you didn't drink anything really strong before this.
I know.
Because then, all right, now, because some people, you know how some people are, Jesse, they'll drink an imperial stout, then, then they'll say, well, now let me go on another show. But, they're just crazy. They're crazy people.
Whew.
Hi, guys.
Hello there.
Well, today I'm doing Sam Adams Oktoberfest. And, sometimes it's good to kind of celebrate it, even though it's past October.
Still got a good date.
Yeah, this one still got a good date on it, yeah. And, the smell on it is still the same as I reviewed it. And, you still get that maltiness off of it. and whatnot. And yep, yep. It still tastes as good as it did when I reviewed it. Still maltiness to it as well. And it's, you know, until I bought Sam Adams, I never realized how good Sam Adams was until I had it. And, you know, but that's kind of the point of the show or being a beer reviewer is like get to try these new things and whatnot. And this is one of them. It's kind of taken me out of my comfort zone in a way. I mean, granted, I'm always talking about Sam Adams or Michigan-based beers, but it's good to try other beers from different regions. So I'm glad I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah, and this is a five. I think I've mentioned it before, but this is a 5.3 APV with a 15 IBU. Yeah, okay.
90 calories.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So it's a good beer if you're looking to put on the pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's still a good solid beer.
Oh yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. It goes down good. I mean, I've got no complaints. It's still a smooth beer going down. Nothing's lingering. And, you know, I can't complain. I mean, as long as it's good, it tastes good, it goes down. And, hey, what can I say? There's really not much more I can say about this other than that I enjoy it. Still drinking it. So, I guess you'll keep me on the review side, I guess, or the score side. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Well, the way you join in, Jeff, is
Oh yeah, let Jeff in.
you have
He's my hero.
NEBR, New England Beer. You'd have to click the link, this link, and then it'll let you join. And then you can talk about whatever beer you're drinking for fall. Now, back to moi. We're all drinking Northeastern beers tonight. I'm drinking one from Pennsylvania. Jesse's drinking one from New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Species drinking one from Boston and sometimes Pennsylvania. Now, depending on which one, because I drove by that brewery in Pennsylvania and I tried to go visit the brewery and I was in the wrong line. I was in the delivery truck line and I said, "Uh-oh, better get out of this line." It was a Schaefer beer brewery that they bought and turned it into Samuel Adams. Anyway, I knocked mine out. I'm gonna knock you out, and I took care of it, and it was really good. And when I got to the very bottom, it was very chocolatey because I noticed at the bottom, at the bottom of the bottle they had chocolate chunks, like little chocolate chips. I shook it real hard. And it came loose, and I poured it in, and it settled to the bottom. So the last sip of this was like chocolate milk, but it was chocolate beer. So I think they have improved it. I really do. Now, what did they do to improve it? I don't really know, but it tastes better than last year. And I never said last year's was bad. I just said it wasn't that terrific. Leinenkugel's toasted Bock beer. It sounds good. You know, Leinenkugel's is largely faded from Louisiana. It's sickening, but we used to get all these varieties, and then we got some of the varieties, and now we get almost none of the varieties. So too bad for us, because Leinenkugel's, we had some pretty exciting beers, but I guess the sales weren't too terrific for Louisiana, so they said, kill it. All right, but I mean, we'll get a handful every year, but all the exciting Leinenkugels people talk about on alcohol legs, I don't get to try them. Anyway, cheers to you, Flacco. I wish you could join us again one day. I wish, I wish a lot of people could join us again one day, like the Brian the beer snob, and NEBR, and a lot of people. Okay, but people get busy, you know how it goes. Now, this beer, I'm going to score it. I'm going to score it. And I like how they put this. You must be 21. They want the ladies and some men at the cash register to make sure they're not selling it to kids, because like a kid's drink. I'm going to score it. Okay, let me write 80, 89 out of 100, because that last sip was so very chocolatey. And I think that's a fair score. $1.79 for a single. That's a good score. I mean, you can get it cheaper if you buy the 12-pack. People are buying it. Mathern's got it out there on display. People are buying it. They're buying it. Shout outs and promos and what they call that. Next week we're doing beers for fall again. I already got my selection in the fridge. And tomorrow morning at dawn, I'm planning to do Dawn Busters, and I got a Canadian whiskey I had forgotten about. I said, "Oh, almost skipped it." Almost, but I didn't. But I've got McAdams, which is my control group, meaning my control group means this whiskey is going up against all the other ones. It's a round robin tournament. So it hasn't been winning every tournament, every game, every contest, but it hasn't been getting beat up either. So it's been doing okay. And for $7.99 a liter, who could complain? I know I won't. But it's going up against a product that should beat it. I mean, it shouldn't really be that much of a contest. It's Rich and Rare Reserve. I only have enough left for one more challenge, as you can see. Rich and Rare Reserve should beat McAdams, but you never know until you do the blind taste test. You just never know. And this is a very popular, this is like one of the most popular Canadian whiskeys. A lot of people love Rich and Rare Reserve. So everybody sells it pretty much, and it's really popular. So that's it. And Friday at 6:30 Eastern, we're doing Fandango Friday liqueurs. BC tried to join us last week, and he had internet problems, and he was getting so frustrated, and I can understand that. But he can bring that liqueur again. I have a bunch of liqueurs to bring. I'll just have to pick one. All right. So,
right. And for Jeffrey Lyons, if you don't have the StreamYard app, you'd have to download that first in order to use it to get into StreamYard. So it's cool seeing you again.
Yeah, but it's easy to do though, right?
Oh yeah, very easy to do. Don't worry about any bugs or anything like that or viruses. It's a nice thing to use. It's basically what we're using to go live on YouTube these days. So I hope you make it. There he is. I hope he makes a comeback too. I hope he starts putting out more videos. Watch every single episode of this. Yeah, I hope you make it. There he is.
Hey Jay,
do you want me to go ahead? Or do you want to bring Jeff?
I hear 3,000 voices. I hear 3,000 voices going on. Hey Jay, can you see me? Can you hear me? Turn my sound. Let me see. I hear 3,000 voices. Hey Jay, can you see me? Can you hear me? Okay, this is new for me.
Right. Yeah, you don't want your sound up.
Well, let's see if I can figure that.
Do you want?
This is
do you
new
want
to
to
me.
let
I'm
Jeff
trying to
go
figure-
before I go, or do you want me to just?
No, we'll let everybody do their scores and promos. Then we can let Jeff showcase what he's doing
Awesome.
if he can figure it out.
So
Jeff's been
the
around.
Brew Witch project from
Show me the
Untitled
photos.
Brewing Company. When Jeff gets up, he can talk more about Tilton, because I'm sure he has some good history on Tilton. I'm sure Tilton, New Hampshire. The sour ale that this is, it's very nicely made. You're getting a lot of the flavors that are in there, and they're coming through, like I mentioned already, in different kind of aspects throughout the drink. This is not one of those ones where you're going to find the malts. You're not going to find the breadiness. You're not going to find wheat. You're not going to find any of the malt flavors in this. This is just heavily based off of the fruit and the rosemary that's added to this. It's got that kind of different layers of viscosity, like I said, kind of wet on the bottom side and thicker on the top side. Definitely leaves a big old clamminess in the throat, all on the top. Very strange. Haven't had that happen before with a fruited sour. Usually, if it's going to be thick, it's going to be thick throughout. It's not going to have like a separate layer on it. The other interesting thing about this heavily fruited sour is that it's not super sweet. Most of them come off like really sweet. You get a lot of sweetness. There's like no sweetness to this. It's just like if you drink orange juice, and you're gonna get some like fructose sweetness, but for the most part, it's acidic. It's kind of tart. That's kind of the way this comes off. It's not like sweet really at all. It's a sour ale throughout, kind of more like a Berliner Weiss type flavor note that you're going to get, but then it does have that kind of thickness going on in the top half of the beer. The rosemary is an interesting thing. There is that little bit of a kind of rosemary like or spicy cooking type apparatus added to it. It's decent. Is it my favorite sour? Heavily fruited sour, because you kind of have to classify them differently. No, it's not. But I find it to be very intriguing. I like the way that it comes off differently, and it's an enjoyable drink. It's something that you have to probably drink slower, because you're gonna get a lot of clamminess in the throat. It's gonna slow you down from drinking. So it's a good beer to have if you want to go out to a bar type deal and you plan on driving, and you might only want to have one, because it's not a high ABV. And you're not going to probably drink it too fast, because it does really mess up your swallowing capabilities. I'm going to give it a 94 out of 100, based off of its uniqueness in the way that most of the flavors do come through, even though it is missing any malt type profile or whatnot. But it's different. It's definitely a project.
And you weren't really terrified drinking or anything like that.
Terrified? No.
Wait until he turns off the lights.
Right. Then he'll get scared. Then he'll be scared.
Well, anyways, jokes aside, this one, I enjoyed it the last time I reviewed it. I'm enjoying it this time I'm doing it. And, with all the malts and whatnot, this is really, really blended well since the last time I had it. And, it's really good. It mixes well, or it goes down really good. I've got no complaints. Nothing's lingering on the tongue. It just goes down smooth. It's refreshing. I enjoy that, especially with all these malts and whatnot that they got going on with this beer. And, on my show, I know I gave it a high rating. And, same thing here. I'm going to have to give it a high rating. But
okay, no, wait. Before you do that, I forgot to let Bumpy Road do his promos. You want to let him do the promos and then get their score?
Okay, yeah, because I got to go take care of something real quick anyway. So I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, Jay,
Yeah, we can hear you, Jeff. We can hear you. We hear you fine.
but I'm getting this kind of weird echo effect. This is the first time I've done, I can't hear myself. This is the first time I've jumped on YouTube Live. Usually I go through Gmail or something like that, so it's new for me. So I just kind of jumped in because, well, I felt like it.
Well, yeah, you're doing fine. We can hear you. We're gonna get to you in a minute. Now, Bumpy, do you have a score? I mean, do you have any promos? Bumpy probably ran to the restaurant. All right. Well, I'm gonna let Jeff, because everybody got it. Those two guys had something to go take care of. So I'm gonna let Jeff show us his beer, and I think he's got one that I like.
Well, I'm not drinking it. I didn't have any New England beers to talk about for this particular viewing, so this was my last pumpkin ale in the fridge. So it's the Elysian Dunkel Chino, which I really like. It's a nice dark beer. It's got the various nutmeg and cinnamon characteristics that are really pungent and forward in this beer. It really takes over the beer, plus the dark malts. It's actually a pretty decent beer. It's not something I drink it at this time of year. It's not something I might jump all over the world looking for. But at this time of year, you know, it's kind of nice. And this is the last. The only reason I picked this one, as I said, it's not a New England beer, so it doesn't fit into my sort of category that I do for beers. But it's not a bad beer. I picked up the 12-pack, which was a mixed pack. I had this one and 3 others, and they were all pretty good. So, and I like this one quite a lot. So I like dark beers, generally speaking, far better than some of those hazy IPAs that are out there these days. Here in New England, we get hazy IPAs every corner store, basically. And so when I can get my hands on a Dunkel or a dark ale or something that's got a roasty malt character, or even the various, what do you call it, the Oktoberfests, Marzens, you know, I jump right on them. I love them. I love that kind of beer. And you might have noticed, Jay, because you follow me on Facebook and other places, I did post a picture today of the St. Bernardus Christmas Ale, which is really like it just came out in my area today, or just became available in my area today. So it was kind of like, all right, another season for those St. Bernardus ales. So looking forward to another winter of the St. Bernardus stuff, because I really like that. I was trying to convince my local store where I buy these to make sure they pick up the Korsendonk as well, which is available in New Hampshire. We don't get a lot of the Chimay so much anymore, or the ones from Canada there, the Brew, and there are a few others we don't get, but we do get the Chimay, some Chimay. We get the Korsendonk, and we do get the St. Bernardus. So I try to encourage my local stores that sell decent beers to, you know, get these beers. So anyway, it's not really fall stuff. I know you're talking about fall stuff today. So this, as I said, was the only fall beer I had left in my fridge. I'm starting to switch over to the, you know, winter beers right now, quite frankly. And it's
well, Jeff,
that time of year.
Jeff, I'm showing a screen. I'm showing the website. If you want to read this to the audience about what they're saying here.
Okay, let's see. Elysian Pumpkino. Okay, a pumpkin ale with the attitude of a world-weary barista. Pumpkino packs a short shot of Stumptown. Oh, that's something new. Stumptown coffee toddy in your pint with just a shake of cinnamon and nutmeg. Yeah, I'm getting for sure cinnamon and nutmeg in this one. And pale brown biscuit, C77. Yeah, I don't know about C77, but pale brown biscuit makes sense. Crystal chocolate and a kiln coffee malts provide the body. German Northern Brewer lends a touch of bitterness. That's not super bitter, but I'm getting a mild bitterness on this. And lactose, well, maybe a little milky thing. Let's take another taste. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll say lactose. Why not? I'll agree with the description. And a lactose sweetness, just the touch. A 3-pumpkin addition in the mash, kettle, and fermenter. Contains lactose. Well, milk, lactose, cream. You know what I mean? Hey, that rhymes. Milk. Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. I jumped in because I've already had a couple of beers before I joined in, so I look at.
Hey, how would you score this one out of 100?
Oh, I put this one definitely. Well, I would put this. It's really cinnamony, very nutmeggy, but it's kind of smooth. I wouldn't call it warming. It's kind of a light to medium body. So let me put it B plus. How about B plus? A minus maybe. I know you like numbers sometimes. Let's go 88, 89.
Okay.
That might be about right. Yeah. So you can hear me okay?
Sure.
I thought. Okay. I was wondering if I had this echo effect going on.
No.
That's why I got these on, because I couldn't hear you guys. I was getting this like 5 times. I'd hear the exact same thing over and over and over.
Yeah, we can hear you great. Your video is fine and your audio is perfect.
Okay. I haven't joined Jay in one of these kind of reviews in 5, 6 years, maybe. It's been 7. Hey, Jay keeps track of this stuff. I forget, but Jay and I sort of started out about the same time. I was a few months ahead of him when it comes to YouTube reviews. I got started in January of 2010. In fact, it was ironic because today I was going through my YouTube page. I don't really do much on YouTube anymore because I don't really get a lot. Jay gets like 200, 300 views. I get 25 or 30. So I don't do as much on YouTube. Yeah, I don't do as much on YouTube, but I will say today someone looked at one of my reviews from February of 2010. It was like my 4th or 5th or 6th review, and it was like, holy smoke, you dug this one out of the archives. And things have really changed, but I started out in January of 2010, and then eventually I started out just with this kind of nickname I gave for myself, then eventually became New England Beer Reviews, then eventually became NEBR because, hey, I'm a PR guy. I know how to make things kind of flashy when it comes to marketing and PR and that kind of thing. So anyway, I don't want to get off on my history. I know you guys are talking about fall beers, so I don't want to get into that too much.
When you first started, you were Pub of Lions, right?
Yeah, that's Pub of Lions is my moniker on Rate Beer and on Beer Advocate. My original was Jeff O'Lehane, which is kind of a weird variation on the Irish variant of my name, which is Jeff Lyons. So Jeff O'Lehane. O'Lehane was an original version of Lyons. Do you follow what I'm saying? So that's how I came up with, and then I used the French version. So Jeff, G-E-O, even though I spelled my name Jeff, J-E-F. So I went with G-E-O O'Lehane, which was like Jeff O'Lehane, the kind of Irish variant on my name, and that's kind of how I came up with. That's how I came up with my YouTube page on Rate Beer, which I joined in 2008, and Beer Advocate, which I joined in 2009. I was Pub of Lions, and the reason I picked that one. Why am I going off on this tangent? You guys want to talk about fall beers. I'm giving you my life story here.
Right.
But I mean, Pub of Lions came from being an Irish heritage in my family. I read an article that if you entered a pub owned by the name of Lions, it was the best pub in Ireland. So I came up with Pub of Lions,
Yeah, I remember that. I used to say, I used to think it was, you were spelling Pubo Flyons. I was like, who is Pubo Flyons? But I was reading it wrong. Right. But
well, I don't want to take over. I don't want to take over your broadcast with my personal life history over the last 10 years. I kind of jumped in because, hey, they're doing fall beers, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to pop in, and you guys were talking about some interesting stuff, so I figured, hey, why not? If I can figure out how to join it.
Yeah, join anytime, and And Bumpy Road says you're his hero, so he's going to do promos.
Please put out some more YouTube videos. I
haven't done one.
Every single one of your videos.
Well, I really appreciate that.
You inspired me, so
you're the one that watches those videos, eh?
That's me.
Because I mean, Jay gets 200, 300 views. I get 35, 40, 50 maybe. Depends on the beer. If it's Sam Adams or something, I might get like 100 views or something like that. Problem is that with my case, because I focus on beers from New England, and Jay does anything from all over the world, I focus on beers from the 6 New England states. So if you live out in California, why the heck do you care about Stone Face IPA from New Hampshire? So I don't get as many views as he does. But I know I was one of the early reviewers. Jay was a few months after me. I popped in in January of 2010. In fact, I had to remove my first video because in the old days I used to use some music behind my videos, some light music I would find on various websites, and then someone hit me with a copyright violation. So I had to remove my first video, but the other ones are still there going back to 2010, and we're talking, 11 years? Wow. Yeah. A long time.
That was always great too, watching your videos with the history that you would talk about, either within the area of the brewery, just like kind of the local history of that town that the brewery was in, or the brewery itself, plus the beer. I always enjoyed watching that.
I don't want to interrupt you, Best BRB, but Jay actually answered it. If you go to YouTube, you'll find me under Jeffrey Lyons, which is my actual name. Just so you know, I do have a Facebook page that is NEBR. So if you go to Facebook, I'm doing mostly any reviews I do these days are on Facebook. I have found that I get more viewers and more people responding to my videos. So I kind of switched over to Facebook in the last, maybe 2 years or so. I don't do the longer ones. I do 2-3 minute videos. I've actually linked a few to Jay's Facebook page, his Alcohol Legs page, and that kind of thing. And so if you want to see me in my true glory, acting as a host in front of a camera, which is kind of pompous, but if you want to see me doing that, go to my NEBR page on Facebook. You type it in New England Beer Reviews. You'll find probably several hundred reviews there that are like 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. So if you are Mr. BRB, appreciate your support. But if you're that obsessed with my videos,
I'm not on Facebook, unfortunately.
I would have you check out those instead. I'm sorry. Jake caught me when I had.
Yeah, that's all right, Jeff. Well, you could join Facebook. It's not gonna kill you. All right, now do some promos because
you never know.
Do some promos because BC's waiting to do some promos too.
Okay. I don't want to interrupt anyone. I just popped in because I thought it'd be kind of cool.
It's cool. You should pop in every week. All right. Bumpy's going to do promos and then BC.
So yeah, my promos. Basically, we got the 50-point inspections that I do. I'm just down to twice a week on those Wednesdays and Fridays, putting those out. Where I break down beer. I mostly do New England beers. I will do beers from other states as well when I can find them. Like I have the Utopias barrel-aged worldwide stout from Dogfish Head and Sam Adams because they kind of merged. So I do have that. Haven't tried it yet. Looking forward to it though, for sure. Got Monday, which used to be Multi Mondays. Multi Mondays is no longer. I went through all the different beer styles that I find. And now I have moved After Dark beers over to Mondays from Sunday. So no Sunday show for me, but now it's on Mondays. After Dark beers, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my channel, Bumpy Road Brewery. Bring a dark beer based off the malt profile. Don't bring a heavily fruited sour. Bring something darker. Amber lagers all the way through Cascadian Dark Ales, Black IPAs, AK. stouts, porters, all that jive. Belgian quads, those are all welcome as well. I'm just trying to think of a different show to do.
I hate to interrupt you, but I love Belgian quads. They probably are my favorite style. The Abbott 12 is like, I mean, I just bought today the St. Bernardus Christmas Ale. Just came out in my area today. So, but that Abbott 12 is just phenomenal. It's probably my favorite beer in the world. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I want to ask you, what do you shop at one certain store, or do you just
Well, I live in New Hampshire, so I go around. So I go to a few stores. There are a few stores in my area that sell a few decent beers. Candia Road Convenience is in Manchester. They're not bad. Bert's Better Beers in Manchester. They used to be Hooksett. They do a nice job. There's a place over in the Portsmouth area called Prost. They're pretty good. And I also like a place in Epping. It's called Greg and Jane's Wine and Beer, and they're pretty good. So if you're in New Hampshire, those are good places to go.
Greg and Jane's. Since you're in Manchester, sometimes though, the store that I go to all the time is the Packy.
Oh yeah, they moved. Did they move? I thought they moved.
Yeah, they're much easier to get to now. Right off the highway, right off 93 there, and the Packy in Manchester.
I went to their old location a year or two ago. Right, haven't been there back since. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Jay.
That's all right. We got to let BC's do his promo. BC's beer reviews, regardless of if it's a bottle or a can. Today he's going to be reviewing a beer. So,
sorry, Jay. I'm new to this.
That's all right. We're not fanatics, you know.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm a little excited, man. So it's cool, man. It's cool.
If I stay here too long, we'll go an hour and a half.
No, we won't. Oh no.
Go for it, BC.
Right. I did a segment, I guess you could say, on Friday. I recorded today for Outdoor Infantry Beer of the Week. I recorded that earlier today. That'll be out Friday. It depends on when he starts. It's either 9 or 10 o'clock. Outdoor Infantry. We did a beer for that one. Saturday, as far as my show goes, I'm out of beers, so I'm going to have to pick up some beers between now and then for my show on Saturday. Fandango Friday, I do plan to hit up your show on Fandango Friday because I got my internet straightened out and I'll be able to join. As you can tell now, my internet's working. And let's see, James, he's got a show Sunday from what he was saying. And I'll be doing that show Sunday at 3 o'clock. And I already did my wings, which, you know, if nobody knows, I was cooking them up for the U of M game Saturday. And then Sunday, Saturday was a test run for the wing. Sunday, I did the wings again for James' show. Same thing, internet problems, but the wings turned out awesome. They were moist. They were great. They were awesome. Should have tried them. As far as James shows go, I think I'm going to be doing some sort of bacon wrap kielbasa with some cheese filling. You'll see it when you see the show. You'll know what I'm talking about. As far as that goes, that's pretty much it as far as shout-outs go.
Okay, but one more thing before we get off the air. What is your score for the Samuel Adams Oktoberfest?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I haven't heard scores, and well, thanks. This one, I still stick to my last review, and I'm sticking with a 9.0 on this
90, one. 90 out of 100. That's fair.
Yep.
So we got 89, 94, 90, and 89. So we got a pretty good set of scores here tonight. Not anything worldwide.
I would put it in the A-, range as well. I don't have one in front of me. I did try it a couple of weeks ago, but I really do enjoy that beer quite a lot. So I would definitely put it in the A- range for sure, which would be what, 91, 92, something like that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, between a 90 and a 90. Yeah.
Well, I better get off of this. I was at work all day today, and I got to work, and when I got to work, it was exactly 6 a.m. 6 a.m. when I clocked in. Oh, what are you showing? And then I haven't been able to be. I wasn't even able to look at Facebook much today. I know people made all kind of comments. They probably think I'm ignoring them. I'm not ignoring you. I never got to look at it, But
well, everybody's been talking about that merger with Bell's and that Sweden company, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Japan.
goodness!
I saw that.
Don't get me started on that. I'm just saying.
What happened was that Larry Bell, and then we're about to get off the air, y'all. Larry Bell said he's getting old, and he's getting ready to retire. And he said it didn't look like anybody else wanted to run it, and so the board of directors, his people said, "Well, let's just sell it." He said, "Okay." So Kieran of Japan said, "We'll buy it," and they didn't say how much. So it's an Australian company that bought it called Lions Brewery. But
there you go. My distant relative, I guess.
Yeah, but it's a subsidiary. But it's actually a subsidiary of Kirin. Kirin is huge, and I think Kirin, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Kirin a subsidiary of Mitsubishi? I'm almost certain of that.
I don't disagree with you, Jay. I think you're correct.
So you can drive your car and go get a Kirin beer. You can drive a Mitsubishi and get a Kirin beer.
Don't drink and drive, though, they say. Don't drink and drive.
No, don't drink and drive. When you get back home, you can drink it. What now?
You can get Mitsubishi water heaters.
Wait. What now?
I said you can get Mitsubishi water heaters to make televisions. They do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's right. They make all kind of things: beer, cars, anything you could think of. They make it. All right.
Toothbrushes, probably
toothbrushes, satellites, Japanese fighter planes. All right.
There you go.
American flags.
Well, folks, it was fun. And I got to do the whiskey tomorrow morning. We got liqueurs Friday. If anybody wants to try a liqueur, people are sometimes opposed to it because they'll tell me, "Oh, I don't think I'll like it." I said, "Well, how do you know you never had a liqueur?" And they'll say, "Oh, yeah, it's true. I've never had one." We get those little mini bottles around here, and you're only paying 50 cents. I mean, that's nothing, So anyway, yeah, like Sandy, you're right.
Depends on the bottle, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody joining. It was a great hangout. We did a lot.
Do you consider gin a liqueur?
No, but you could make a liqueur if you have some fresh fruit. You could make a liqueur if you got fresh fruit.
Irish cream.
Yeah, why not
right there.
There you go.
Why not make a liqueur? You can show. Jean-Pierre did. Oh.
Yeah, he did.
Showed up.
Being an apple slice. Yeah.
Jean-Pierre made his own liqueur one night for Mango Friday. So everybody, Bumpy Road doesn't have a bosun's whistle, but he's going to close us out.
I can't even whistle. It's one of my many talents I don't have.
I was just talking to him before the show too. So, yeah, it kind of takes that element out of the show, don't it?
Yeah. How are you going to close us out?
Can dance a jig.
Well,
how are you going to close
like I've always said, hey, drink responsibly. Don't do nothing stupid. Peace out, brother man. Peace out, sister girl. And we'll see you next time here.
Go for that.
That's right. Ron Terrio